So, hey, Deborah, thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you guys for being here. Are we all set to go? Yeah? All right. So my name is Ben Williams. I'm CEO, co-founder of Firecracker. I will tell you what that's about in a second. So the problem we're tackling is that outcomes are very important, obviously, to industry, increasingly important. We all know that everyone learns differently, right? Personalized learning can drive those outcomes. But there right now really isn't an easy, scalable way for institutions to drive personalized learning in a way that leverages their one-to-many assets. So that's kind of how we think about the problem. So the solution is a web and mobile platform that maximizes learner outcomes, but does so by aligning said resource of the institution. So that's including external resource, external content, obviously internal curricula, faculty, peer tutors, things like that. Again, with the individual needs of the learner. We think we've proven that we can do so and drive outcomes, cut costs, and improve a community in the process. So the fundamental platform is pretty simple. It's set goal, tell us about yourself, give us some of the context, what school you go to, strengths and weaknesses, that kind of thing, diagnostic tests, that kind of thing. And then we will recommend the right stuff in the right way at the right time. Things like the right question at the right level of difficulty, or hey, you should connect with this peer tutor because they have a strength in an area that you're weak. And that drives outcomes. A lot of proof of outcomes on our website, firecracker.me. Would love you guys to dig in there. That's our preferred starting place with folks, is to really debate whether the thing works or not. So a lot of text. Wanted to show some pictures. This is the web and mobile experience for learners. They get daily tasks assigned to them based on their strengths and weaknesses. We're big on learning memory science, so it's a lot of learning by doing questions, that kind of thing. For institutions, we obviously have institutional dashboard. For administrators, that aggregates everything, as well as for faculty, it drills down to their individual courses. Helps them identify at-risk students, compare the students' performance to peers outside at other schools, identify at-risk areas of their curriculum, and then at the end of the year, of course, use that for continuous quality improvement of their curricula. It's something that accreditors, especially in our beachhead market, which was largely one of the reasons we like it, accreditors are jumping on that right away in terms of focus on outcomes and also making sure that there's a continuous quality improvement process at the level of your faculty and curricula and administrators. Competitive advantage, the way we think about it, is our ability to drive outcomes and engagement through data, and not only content recommendation, but actually content creation. So things like item generation are some of the proprietary technologies that we're working on. So not just like, oh, you should recommend this thing in our database, but actually having algorithms create content on the fly, specifically for you to optimize your learning and also to help give us more data. So we believe that our ability to get this flywheel going as fast as possible in starting in our beachhead market, but obviously throughout the whole learning graph, is our long-term sustainable competitive advantage. So we view our TAM as the massive $600 billion market, citing GSV here, global e-learning plus the corp and government markets. Our served available markets we define as the 10 US healthcare markets that our current customers serve. So I'll explain our beachhead market in a second, but we work with medical schools and medical students currently. And our share of the market, we're on a $4 million run rate right now. We've managed to bootstrap ourselves there. And I'll show you a little bit more about what that means in terms of users and engagement. So on the learner side, there's about 22,000 paying learners, either directly or indirectly. About 18,000 are direct, so they come directly through B2C channel. About 4,000 we get through school partners, so they'll buy it for their students, and then they pay us even more to customize it, align it with their curriculum, support their assessment, quizzing schedule, that kind of thing. Even just that process of alignment, you'd be amazed at how much that builds a sense of community and a shared, ownership of the curricula. A lot of times they have students on curriculum committees, and now they actually have something to talk about. We're showing about a standard deviation improvement in learner outcomes, and that's even if you control for things like incoming test-taking ability, study time. some really good data on that. We're huge data science geeks, and again, outcomes is a big one of our big beliefs is that that's the thing that you have to deliver, otherwise you won't have a business in the future. And that can generally mean the difference between your preferred residency in our current market and your preferred location, or a residency you don't want in a location you don't want. So it's really a big life thing for these folks. Another reason why we like this market: outcomes matter, not only to the students but obviously to society. Institutionally, we're working with about 20 schools, and we get higher engagement if we integrate with a school, not surprisingly. Students view it as more aligned with their day-to-day course activities. Schools will require quizzes, participation, right, summative exams, all that kind of stuff. And we're showing even better outcomes. We have a good case study with Florida State University on our website that you guys can download, but definitely hit me up. Love to share that with you guys. So kind of have our cake and eat it too here. At this point, you're probably wondering, are we an ugly duckling or a swan? Bootstrap company in a small niche market, right? I totally understand. I recently joined Wolfram Research. You guys might be familiar with Wolfram Alpha, that company. They're starting a venture arm. I recently joined them as a venture partner, so I'm aware of where you guys are at, how you guys think. And we've obviously talked with the market. I would argue we are a swan in the making. Some smart folks kind of see things the same way we do. We're happy to bootstrap and get to a place where we're further along in our served available market, so tackling markets like nursing, all that. But we see a lot of opportunity to throw gas on the fire, forgive the pun. So would love to work with people that like what we're up to and see some potential. Thanks.